What's up, everybody? I'm back with another episode. Trying to get this right. For fuck's sake. I was going to read more poetry again today. And talk about whatever lessons I've learned throughout my life. But something came over me today that I need to put the books down and just speak from the heart. Discuss the current problems and frustrations that I'm dealing with, because there are probably many other people out there dealing with the same. So it's a worthy conversation. But I have been incredibly frustrated this morning because I have now, I think, tried to record this episode about 8 times. And I've just been getting lost to the whirlwind of my own mind. Lost to the frustration of my problems. Not knowing what to say or necessarily what to do to find myself out of the maze. Because God in life recently has been challenging me to play the long game, the slow roll, the honest and disciplined approach to my life. And what do I mean by this? As many artistic people probably are, me alike, I have found my most success somewhat in a frenzy of inspiration. All throughout school, all throughout everything that I've ever done, I'm a chronic procrastinator, and it's probably my ADHD or whatever the fuck I have. But I get lost to different things, and then when the time comes and there's a panic and necessity to make things happen, I can catch the wind of the inspiration, catch the wind of necessity, I guess, and get all of my work done. That's how I've always done it, pretty much. That's how I've always found success, in these short sprints. I work really, really, really hard, and then I rest. I work really, really hard, and then I rest and get lost to whatever whim of the day. But it's a very unstable approach to life and to doing anything, frankly. Art and everything included. Because if you're trying to make a career out of something, it takes consistent and deliberate effort. You need to show up for it every day. And it's frustrating. It's frustrating because I feel like I'm fighting my own biology. I'm fighting my own mind, the patterns and way of being that I've always known. And it's been rather difficult for me. But it is also what is required. So I've been trying to move into this next phase of my life while carrying the baggage of the past, because I've been somewhat unwilling to be consistent in my doings and happenings, because I want to make a life out of art. I want to make a life out of poetry. I want to speak, and I want to podcast, and I want to do this. And I want to help others do it. But it hasn't been paying the bills yet. So I have a day job. I spend about 45 hours a week managing a restaurant nearby. And I'm trying to find the time to do the things that I love, that I care about, that I feel drawn to and compelled to. But I'm tired. And I'm getting older. And this way of sprinting and working long into the night, trying to catch that wave of inspiration, just has not been working for me anymore. I've been changing. Life's been changing. So I've been having to approach it all differently. And it's very uncomfortable. It's a lot to balance. It's a lot to manage and mitigate. Been having to really fine-tune my finances and watch my spending and schedule my time, and I've never been good at it. Never. God. My time more than anything else. Fuck. Money too. But it is a thing. One of the important realizations that I've been having, particularly this morning as I've been delving through this identity crisis, is that, like I said, you can't carry the baggage of the past while moving into the future, because they don't work together. If you want a different life, you have to live a different way. You have to do different things, and it breeds different results. You can't eat sugar and sweets all day and be in fantastic shape. Maybe when you're young, your metabolism is high, but it wears out. You can't sit around all day and do nothing and be in good shape. Your muscles be loose. Everything will tighten up. It happens. And that's just one example. But thinking about it, like, I've been good at showing up for work. I show up for work every day. But, I have a boss and I have things that require me to. I'm accountable to them, so I have to be. But something as lofty as a personal goal or a business that you're trying to create that you are only accountable to yourself, that's much more difficult to do. That's much more difficult to do. Because you're the one who holds you accountable. And if you're used to, like I am, working in these short sprints, riding the wave of necessity because I'm accountable to somebody else or some other thing, I haven't developed the habit. And if you're going to work for yourself, if you're going to run your own business or operation, you better be good at holding yourself accountable. So recently I've been writing out a schedule, and I've been doing my best to stick to it, weaving in with the open time that I have to work on my projects, to work on my episodes, my poetry that I'm writing and editing, and my paintings that I'm working on, and everything else. But you get tired. You get tired, and when you're making slow progress, it's very easy to feel like you're not making any progress at all. You're sitting with the current results of the day and comparing them all the time to that fucking wish, that idol of a vision that you have. And they don't look the same, and you're like, what the fuck? How do I keep going? Do I just quit? And the answer's fucking no. Slow progress is still progress. And I've been having to really think about this, and the answer has been running through my mind so clearly that it's like, this is the game. This is good. This is developing you. You're becoming the person who is enjoying the journey and not just the destination, because you keep showing up. You keep getting used to this process of diligently working despite the difficulty. And the more you continue to do that, the more progress you'll make and the further along that you'll be. But the most important part of it all is the fact that it's you being developed. You changing the path and pattern of action that may be ingrained, but that won't work in that future that you're trying to create. Now, I've made a lot of progress. If I actually look at my life, you've seen in my other episodes, I'm not shy about it. I was a wild wreck. I was a fucking fool. I was denying everything. I was trying to do everything everyone ever told me not to do. So I smoked and drank like a madman. I ran around. I didn't give a fuck. I was chasing highs and experience. Now, I think I do have some form of ADHD. And that doesn't make it easy to contend with. And in fact, makes it much easier to just slip into unregulated and unhealthy patterns. But I've quit drinking. I've quit smoking. I've quit running around. I've changed a lot, actually. And all of that had to fall away for me to even get to where the fuck I'm sitting right now. Slowly and diligently fucking working. Wearing myself thin. I don't even know how many hours I put into all of this. All while working another job. For me to even be sitting here, as far as I've gotten, I've had to sacrifice a lot. Change a lot. And I'll be sitting here today forgetting all the progress that I've made and always looking and comparing it to this future vision, still feeling like I haven't done enough. And there is truth in that no, I'm not exactly where I want to be. But I'm sure as shit further along than I am, or than I was. Absolutely. And when I look at how far I've come, and what all needed to change, and how I was being molded and adapted by all of my experiences, I can really appreciate that. And I can look back through the difficulty of quitting a lot of those habits and changing the identity crises that I've been through, time and time before. I look back now and I'm like, oh, wow, yes, all of that was so worth it because look at the progress that I made. But you'll be sitting in the midst of it today with another one, feeling frustrated, feeling incomplete and unsure. And you won't appreciate it right then because you're feeling the weight of it right here and right now. And I thought I'd write down one thing to remember. And it was about that idea of an identity crisis. And how oftentimes, I don't know, all the self-help gurus and everyone you ever hear talk about it, it seems like they're selling the idea, the intention that you can work real hard and figure out who you are and fine-tune your path and pattern to never have that struggle again. To never, if you figure out who you are, you'll never have another identity crisis. I think that's just a lie. This may seem like a random fact, but I think it's just a lie. And in fact, I don't know if you ever should, because then you become stagnated. I've thought about this. It was a conversation I had with my mom a while back. Because I'm getting closer to 30. And I was like, oh, fuck. Who am I as a 30-year-old? Like, should I have more figured out? Should I do this? Should I do that? She looked at me. She was like, Kevin, that never ends. She was like, I'm trying to figure out who I am, and I'm 55. It never ends. And it clicked in my mind. It's like, well, yeah, that makes sense, actually. You don't know who you are at 55 because you've never been 55 before. You don't know who you are at 30 because you've never been 30 before. And every day you're getting older, and every day you're changing. Your body's changing. Like I was saying earlier, like I just can't do the damn sprints the way that I used to do it. Because I'm tired. My life has changed. I'm overwhelmed. So I've been having to really look at my life and change my patterns. Otherwise, I'm just going to wear myself thin and die. But if I chip away slowly, do a little bit here and there as I can at a reasonable amount and level and be disciplined about my approach, my aging self can handle it, and I can be better and move forward, and actually in a much more sustainable way that creates lasting change and lasting results. But it's frustrating every step of the way. And it's the annoying thing. I've talked about it several times on this podcast, this realization and understanding that I've come to that has changed so much for me. Worried about frustrations and hardship and all the difficult things in life that we deal with. The real and honest truth that without darkness, there is no light, or it means nothing. If it's all light, everyone's blind and you can't see. If it's all darkness, it's also all dark, you can't fucking see. It's the balance between the light and dark that creates the depth effect. It's the contrast that allows experience to exist and in fact makes it meaningful. The harsh and true reality is that there's always will be frustration, there always will be hardship, there always will be difficulty, and there always will be change. And you're all the time going to have to be adapting and settling into change, and altering how you approach yourself, your work, your love, your life. And understanding this is crucial because you can appreciate it as you're walking that path. And it doesn't all have to be in retrospect, but it's unfortunate because it will be frustrating. It will be painful. There will be difficulties that you're going to have to adapt to. In fact, it doesn't end. It never ends. There isn't this moment where, like I was saying about that identity crisis, where it's like, you found yourself, and now you're good. There isn't a moment with discipline that all of a sudden you're disciplined and you can stop doing the things that you're doing. No, it's a constant practice. It's a constant thing because life is always changing and always moving. You all the time have to be finding peace with your current situation and be all the time moving forward. And it's annoying. But it's also the reason that anything is fulfilling. Because what is fulfilling? Honestly, like if you look at your life and everything, like your proudest, best moments are when you overcame a challenge and you got to relax for a little while. Because when else could you feel proud of yourself? If it was all easy, what would be satisfying? Really nothing. It's the problem, the lesson that I learned from doing a lot of drugs. They feel great in the moment, but it wears off. If it's all high, you end up needing more of it, and more of it, and more of it, and more of it, just to satisfy you. And at the end of the day, you wreck your health and wreck your life chasing after the next high, a greater high. People are dying from this pattern every day, actually. No, it's actually because there's difficulty, there's this great equalizer of challenge, that any of the positive moments are worthwhile. And you don't have to all the time be chasing newer and greater experience. But you can find satisfaction in your life throughout the journey. And that's something I've been reminding myself. And I'm frustrated now as I'm speaking because this is like my 8th time recording this. I'm just going to keep this one because fuck it. But I have been. Every step of the way, every day, I find peace about this. But then I wake up and I'm tired and I got to go to work and I got to find peace about it again. That today is today. Today is this next step, this next set of steps, this next part of the journey. And even if you feel like you're walking on this hamster wheel and not going anywhere, the truth is you are. Even if in your day-to-day, let's say you are working the same job and it hasn't been making progress and you don't have a goal that you're pushing forward to, and it just feels like the Groundhog Day, the same day every single fucking day. Let's say your exterior world isn't changing at all. Your inner world is. In some way, shape, or form, if you're paying attention. If you're looking closely and communing with God to see what needs to be done. It is. You're changing. Sometimes you're just in the phase where you're being frustrated. But, like, what is the value of that? You show up to the same job every day, do the same thing every day. You're learning and molding consistency. The ability to be consistent. Even if you're not happy there, you still show up and you're there consistently. And building that, let's say you do want to go start your own business or take it to a new job or whatever you want to do, start a hobby. To make it worthwhile, you got to be consistent in it, but you've been training consistency this whole time. It may not feel fulfilling, but you're still learning. You're still growing, and that's a good thing. And you got to take it and work with it and keep going forward. Keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. And it's frustrating, I know. Believe me, this podcast, I've been doing this for years, frankly. Start and stop. My 61st episode. It's my fault it's taken me years to do 61 episodes. But I'm moving forward. Step by step. Step by step. It's frustrating. God, it's frustrating. But is it worthwhile? Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's annoying, but fuck, who cares? Who cares? You. I care that it's annoying. But it's also been a thing that has been ever present on my mind. God is trying to burn into my memory. That is the appreciation of this moment now. That will get you to where you're wanting to go next. Because it is not possible without these steps now to get to where you want to go. And in fact, like I've been saying, it's teaching you something. And if you don't take the time to appreciate it, you won't integrate the lessons that are being taught to you. And then you won't be able to get to the next phase. You just won't. You just won't. And I'm going to keep pushing. This podcast is going to go. Everything else that I'm working on is going to take off. I'm going to make fucking sure of it. Because it's what I want. I want to make it happen. Despite the fact it's frustrating. It's taking forever. But every day I'm showing up to work and I'm working on this as well. Training consistency in myself. The slow and disciplined approach. And then I'll be able to take those tools and apply it just to my own business and be my own keeper to hold myself accountable so that I don't have to continue to work in these fits of inspiration. Because that cycle of my life is over. It's just, I can't keep doing it. Taking what I've been learning and applying it. And then continuing to apply it and learn more as I go. I'm going to get where the fuck I'm going. And you will too. So I'm going to call that an episode. There's been enough frustration about this episode today. But it's okay. It's all right. It'll be good. And you'll be good. Keep your head up. Keep on working. You got this. Peace.